Hello, Captain Purple here, and hopefully now I get the camera more centered. Playing all kinds of stuff. Anywho, again, this is the second part, which can be apparently a pretty decent sized series in the ancient Mediterranean piracy, if I can say it right. Anyways, I'm feeling a lot better. I no longer have the issues I had in the last video. I've got my own issues. Don't worry about that. I mean, I do have issues, but not the same issues. So, anyhow, a little bit further expansion on what I was talking about, and hopefully leading into a little bit more description of what I was talking about. So, from what I've been reading, the whole ancient Mediterranean piracy with the whole trade routes was because of when the Mediterranean coast started. Okay, so basically what piracy started out as, apparently, from what I can gather, is they were fishermen, and they would fish up and down the coast of the Mediterranean area there, and the coastlines were perfect for fishing routes and seagoing trade routes. Not so much for very developed towns, but there were some towns. Get to that in a moment. Um, so these fishermen would be fishing the coast, and they would watch the trade ships up and down these routes that they knew. Generally, the routes that they would fish, and they realized at some point that they needed to do something different. So they started taking to robbing these trade ships and treasure ships and so on and so forth, en route to from one area to another. The reason that made them so good is the fact that these were men that spent their lives on the water and knew the seas better than the traders and such that were, well, I mean, they knew the seas as well, but the fishermen knew the seas better than the trade routes, because they were on their day and night, Monday through Friday, or so on and so forth. They were out for however long a period of time they were out for, constantly. Where the trade routes, when they did go by sea, they were out for a certain amount of time, and generally, they didn't live on the water, basically. Where the fishermen kind of did. So the reason, I'm not sure if the one pronunciation I really slaughtered, which was ancient Greek for land thieves, it was given to these men because of they didn't really have a word for piracy at the time, or if the simple fact is, um, once these cities were tired of being attacked, and their these shipping routes were these coastal cities getting attacked, because the pirates would, just like they did in any period of time, they also sacked coastal towns and so on and so forth. So what they did is, a lot of them moved 2 to 10 miles inland, where would prove where these pirates wouldn't really go, based on the fact of they need to make a speedy retreat. And back then, you're a mile or two away from the coastline, and you're either on foot or horseback, and it's not like you can just get in the car and drive 2 miles to go to and not even 5 minutes. It took quite a while. So knowing this, they moved their towns inland about 2 to 5 miles, which did lead to some land-based piracy once when they wouldn't be so profitable robbing the coastal ships the trade ships, and they wouldn't be so profitable robbing on the seas. They did go to inland piracy, inland robbing and that, theft and all their inland. How many times can I say inland here? So they would do that, and they did do some land robbery and so on and so forth. And then, so where am I here? So what a lot of the towns did, or the cities did, after they moved inland, they would build twin cities, which I mentioned in the last video. They would build, so these cities of, I'm going to read these off here. These cities of, such as same routes. So these cities of, okay, right here, Athens, Tyrans, Messina, and this is why I, sometimes read pronunciation, and others would pair up with cities such as Rome, Ostia, and Athens, and Piraeus, which would, be more of the coastal areas that they would coastal trade, which would go into these, which would be connected to these towns. And then they would often build walls between the towns, such as the wall between Athens and Piraeus, something like that. I really apologize for slaughtering pronunciations. I don't know how to say some of these words. And that's how they would get that's how they would both, that was how they would, the commerce between the shipping. These walls were set up as, I haven't found too much in the walls yet. I'm assuming some form of, well, they would be built for protection. So far as any other purpose for the wall, I do not know at this point in time. Mainly just a protection wall, keep the bad people out. Now they would do this to try to discourage the piracy, but as I'll get into in further videos, it didn't quite work to their advantage. In fact, actually, the ancient. I'm going to end this like real quick here. The ancient Mediterranean piracy that did happen was pretty much the start of piracy as an art form. And as I said, I will get into more later. I will get more into, because this is going to be, I don't know, several videos. Not quite sure how many. I'd like to throw a number out there and be over or under. You promised 8 videos and you only gave 6. So, well, I thought it was going to be 8. So, with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this video up right here. If you like this video or like me as a performer, like my channel, well, if you like this video, share and like and comment, whether it's good or bad. I can take it. I'm a big boy. And even any tips you can give me would be great. If you like my channel, please subscribe and tell your friends about it. And as far like I said, even any tips you can give would be great. Aside from the whole pausing, whatever. I mean, that one I know. Working on getting better, like I said in the last video. I'm working on getting better equipment. I'm working on doing better with this channel. I'll be getting better clothing and so on and so forth. Again, I'm going to put a link to my Facebook page at the bottom of this video. And that's pretty much about the only link that's going to be on this one. So, once again, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and God bless.